as far as questions go, guess what? We're going to be here tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So you can ask questions. That's why this isn't like a book, or a tape, or a program that you go to once in a while. You come here to work out and to ask questions every single day for the next 10 weeks. A few tips that are going to help you, that help me to keep the weight off. Not just get it off, but to keep it off, and I hope will help you too. 1, Pavlov's dog. They fed a dog, and they rang a bell. Then they did it again. They fed the dog, they rang a bell. Then they did it again, and again, and again. Until it got to the point where they could just ring the bell without feeding the dog, and what did the dog do? Salivate. Right. Guess what? When you open up a thing of Oreos, or potato chips, or whatever the heck you open up in those bags, right? They figured out the exact smell that's going to poof out, the exact sound that the thing is going to make, the exact level of convenience that it would require with a little sticky thing that closes it. All of the research that goes into the formula and the chemicals and the exact amount of fat and the exact amount, not protein because they don't put that in there, of sugar that needs to go into those foods is figured out by people making millions and millions of dollars, literally, to figure out what colors, what kind of packaging, why? So that you can't have one. So that, just like that dog, you're stuck in a pattern. And you come home from work, and you open the cookie jar, and you have one. And you go to the couch, and you walk to the couch, and on the way from the couch to the pantry, you pass, on the way to the bathroom, you pass the cookie jar, and guess what? You have another one. On the way back to the couch, you pass the cookie jar again, and you have another one, until it becomes a mindless activity. Guess why they make 100-calorie packs? Because you're probably going to have 2 or 3 of those packs. But besides that, that's like the entry-level Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's not so bad. So I take the 100-calorie pack, I stick that in my kid's lunch bag, right? But that's their introduction to the brand. That's where they get to know the brand and how good it tastes. Misery loves company. So you have to realize that. You have to be conscientious of that. And you have to realize that people like you the way that you are. And they're going to tell you that what you're doing is crazy. They're going to tell you that what you're doing isn't sustainable. Let me ask you this. Logically, as Americans, we're pretty smart, right? So we know what's good for us. Deep down inside, we know what's good for us. What's not sustainable? Eating the way that we just explained, or eating the way that we're eating as a country? Think about that for a second. And realize that people are going to try to pull you down to their level. But you're on a mission for the next 10 weeks. And believe me, think about it like that. How long is it? 10 weeks. It's just 10 weeks. Give it your all for 10 weeks. Not 50, 70, or 80%. Give it everything for 10 weeks. And at the end of those 10 weeks, you will be a different person that no longer has those urges. Don't surround yourself with zeros. Surround yourself with heroes. The guy in the middle's name is Nick Vujicic. And you don't have to remember it because his motto is no arms, no legs, no problem. And if you go home and go to Google and you put in there no arms, no legs, no problem, just as you start typing it, no arms, I bet you his thing comes up right away. Probably don't even have to spell arms out completely. His picture is going to come up immediately. His story is going to come up. So you may never have the chance to meet a guy like Nick Vujicic, who has such an incredible belief system that he was able to overcome things that were literally insurmountable. But guess where you could meet him? On the internet. So next time that you don't want to eat Ezekiel bread and you want to have Wonder Bread instead, if they even still make that crap, Remember the story, no arms, no leg, no problem. Why can't you eat that for 10 weeks? Why can't we overcome this for 10 weeks? It's a state of mind. Bethany Hamilton lost her arm in a shark attack at the age of 13. 4 months later, she was back in the ocean surfing competitively with one arm. It would have been okay. People would have been like, poor girl lost her arm. Obviously, she's not going to compete as a surfer anymore. Not to her family. Her and her father figured out how she was going to be able to surf with one arm. Some of the people on there I got to meet, like Ernie Reyes, the black belt martial artist on the left, who's 67 years old, and is literally, I could say with almost 100% confidence that is probably in better shape than almost everybody in this room. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, if you're sitting here thinking, I'm just going to do the workout, and then I'm going to get these incredible results, you're cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself out of everything that we talked about today. That's not the way that it works. The success of this program is 20% exercise, 80% what you eat. And you got to give it 200%. So the other 100% is the nutrition that you put into your mind. That's the biggest thing that we have to overcome. Don't think you're going to do whatever you're doing now and you're going to come to a class and anything is going to change. It's not going to work. Make a decision right now to just realize that. Don't make up your own fakakta thing. Probably won't work. It definitely won't work. Follow it 100%. In my mind, as I'm driving down Ryan Road towards Route 9, and things start going through my brain, I say to myself, you have an unbelievable potential to inspire people. Your job today is to help as many people as possible to get incredible results in their lives. You're going to make a difference for your children, for your community, and your state, and your country, and your world. And guess what? Now it happens automatically in my brain as I'm driving down Ryan Road. If you're doing this to look better in a bathing suit, someone's going to put a freaking slice of pizza in front of you and you're going to eat it. Because it's just not worth it. If you're doing this because you want to lose 5 pounds, you're going to eat birthday cake because it's just not worth it. If you're doing this because you realize the direction our country is headed in, and that the biggest threat facing us today is diabetes, type 2 diabetes, stroke, heart disease, and cancer, all of which are to some large degree controllable by nutrition and exercise. If you're doing it to help put an end to those 4 things, because someone that you know has suffered needlessly, that's a big enough reason. They say that our children, my children, your children, our neighbors' children, the kids in our community are part of the first generation that are expected to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. That's what they said. And then we take a 100-calorie pack and we shove it in their lunch. Get mad. Get leverage on yourself. Put that in your brain instead of what other people are putting in our brains. Realize that what I'm saying, what we're advocating, the nutrition, and this way of thinking is sustainable. The part that they don't tell us in public service announcements is this. It takes heart, it takes spirit, and it takes your own belief in yourself. Think back to those first 2 pictures of Christine. And now it's your turn to make an amazing transformation in your life. It's your turn to start believing in what's in your heart, your mind, to start paying attention to the person that believes in the amazing potential that every single one of us has inside of us. To stop sitting on the sidelines, watching our kids, living through them, telling them run like this, run like that, kick the ball into the net. We could be the ones running like this, running like that, kicking the ball into the net, setting the example. How do kids learn? Monkey see? Monkey do. Yeah, we can tell them all we want. But when we show them, that's when we're truly making a difference. Make this truly the first day of the rest of your life. Surprise everybody around you with the amazing changes that you make. But most importantly, surprise yourself with the amazing changes you make. Clap it up for yourselves.